That's the start. Like, you put up content and nobody cares at the beginning. The organic stuff is the best game, but it's the longest game. So making content every day maybe pays off in 6 months or 9 months or a year. But by that time, you won't be out of business.
So I'm trying to apply your 9 to 5 to 5 rule, which is just takes massive action.
Yeah.
I have a problem in my life with being too much of a perfectionist and procrastinating. So now I'm at a point where I'm trying to publish all these blog articles, start this brand new website, but I don't have a following on any social media channels. I think the success barrier for me is I'm worried that I'm going to write these let's say 30 articles, and every day I want to write an article, and then I'm going to publish it, and no one's going to read it.
Right. No one is going to read it.
Yeah. Well,
but that's the start, dude. That's the start. Like, you put up content and nobody cares at the beginning. It's consistently following through. Like, 30 articles in 30 days isn't going to be enough. It's every day, forever. And maybe Instagram's not the game forever, but if you have a message and you want to get it out there, creating content is the best way to do it. So my Instagram, last year I started taking it seriously. We had 7,000 followers or something. We started posting 6 times a day. It was me doing everything at the start, right? Even though I had people on my team, I did everything at the start. And then once I figured it out, then I hired people to help me do some of the work, right? But I like to understand it first. So for you, be looking at creating content has to be part of your marketing strategy, whether it's video for YouTube or Instagram content or Twitter or LinkedIn, wherever you're going to be. And then where in your calendar you're going to spend time creating the content. And at the beginning, nobody's going to look at it. 1, because they don't know who you are yet, and 2, because it's not as good as it could be. Like, go back and watch my first videos. They weren't very good. They get better with practice. Even Alex, from making videos for TDS, like salsa videos and thought leadership videos, there was a period of time, 3 years ago, 4 years ago? When were you making videos regularly for TDS? No, videos in front of the camera.
Oh, a long time ago.
Like 4 years ago? 4 years ago, and we worked every week. I would teach him, like, he'd be in front of the camera, I'd be behind, he's like, no, do it again, say it like this, and he slowly got better. And then he stopped, and he got back to it like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, a month ago. And the first videos he made, it's like, what is this? Like, this is, like, you took a big step backwards. Because it'd been so long that he hadn't done it for a while, right? And it's like, you're capable of way more than this. Like, I'm not going to give feedback on this because you already know watching it back that you're better than this, right? And then the next week was already better, the next week was already better, right? But it's continuing to put out the content, especially on the platforms. Like, why I love YouTube so much is the content that you make now lives forever. And so if you're making it now, it may only get a few views, but if you keep getting a few views, and every month you keep getting few views, and then 3 years later, 4 years later, 5, it's still getting more views, every piece of content you make not only makes you better as a thought leader, as a creator, but also is another brick that you're building your foundation that can be discovered forever.
So if you're just getting started, would you spend a lot of time focusing on how am I going to market this article? What are the platforms? Should I be doing paid advertising, or should I just be taking the straight action, just blogging and
Okay, so the fastest way to grow the business is partnerships and alliances, referrals. So finding people who already sell to your target market and find a way to get them to refer you, whether it's a paid thing or just they like you, know you, and they have customers who are facing those issues. That's the fastest way, right? Next would be a paid ad strategy, but you have to have a business model attached to it. So whether it's you creating it or you hire a company that you work with, that you know who your target audience is, you know what their issues are, and you run a paid ad against it, that you can convert to ROI. I don't like paid ads just to build brand, just to build following, because you're spending money. I hate spending money until I'm making money. So I want to see a business model attached to it, that you have coaching, consulting, right? So your paid ads have to lead to coaching signups, not just I gained 20 followers on Instagram, right? The organic stuff is the best game, but it's the longest game. So making content every day maybe pays off in 6 months or 9 months or a year, right? But by that time, you won't be out of business.
So what if you're, sorry, I'm asking a lot of follow-up questions, but let's say you are going to publish like 30 blog articles.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be focusing on getting all the followers on all these different channels, or are you just going to, because if I start posting these to like Facebook, the pages, or whatever it is, I'm not, like no one's going to be on those pages to see it.
Yeah, and Facebook organic is the worst. So you have content. Now, what do you do with that content? There's the paid strategy that if you're like, what's an article? What's an example of an article?
Toxic relationships. Toxic
relationships. And you're going to help them get out of it or find a better one, or like what are we going to get in your coaching session?
Like social anxiety, anger management.
Great. Okay. So if you have an article about social anxiety and you can help coach people through that, then that's content that can become an advertisement that leads to a lead capture and a free call with you for 20 minutes to then lead to a paid session. So you take that article, it's 400 words or whatever, and you chunk it up into different potential ad copy that then you could have business next week when people call on you. But you're paying for every view on that. You're not worried about organic on that, you're just smushing it up, right? So even for TDS, we'll take some content and then run ads against certain demographics, right? Organic, Facebook is the worst. You get nothing from Facebook. I'd be looking at, if it's written articles, so you put it on your website, which can help with some SEO, but then I want to have it in micro form on Twitter. I want to put it as an article on LinkedIn. Instagram, I try to turn it into like pieces of the article and just take a picture. So if it's social anxiety, you show either you like frustrated or a stock picture, and then give me your thoughts, fire captions. People really underestimate how good captions are, the written captions are on Instagram, even though it's a really visual medium. That's where I would start. You don't have a video, so you can't turn it into a YouTube yet, but I'd love to see you just speak your message into a camera too and post it.
If you have a podcast or interview show and want me to be a guest on it, I have two options for you. There's a link right there next to me. Go click it, and I look forward to being a guest on your show.